Yes, 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 yes. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gerald Peters. Always remember, whatever you think about comes about. Whatever you focus on grows. Right here, we're looking at Bitcoin. We are
12,000 and we're just three. Welcome back. Bitcoin marching back toward its all-time high. That was around 112,000 and we're just 3K below that level right now. But when prices dropped back in April, some big buyers seem to have bought the dip. A new piece on .com looks at how for the third straight quarter, public companies bought more Bitcoin than ETFs did. So will this be a lasting trend or is it just temporary fad boosting prices? Tanea McKeel wrote that story and she joins me now. This is fascinating.
No, I think what happened there. What I think happened there, these companies saw that dip and they're thinking, hey, we may not get another shot at this. This may as dip as we're going to get right now. That's what I'm thinking.
And I sympathize a little bit. I think it was Scaramucci who said this. He goes, look, if you as the investor want Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin. Why do you need to buy a company that buys Bitcoin? But anyway, over to you and what trend we're seeing.
Yeah.
Why would you want to buy a company that buys Bitcoin? Because you get the earning power of the company and you get the borrowing power of the company to be able to leverage themselves to buy more Bitcoin than you could buy if you were buying Bitcoin. Come on, man. That ain't a real question.
Kelly, well, thank you. So we looked at data that shows public companies collectively grew their Bitcoin holdings about 18% in Q2, while Bitcoin balances tied to ETFs showed growth of just 8% in the same period. And as you said, this is the third quarter in a row we've seen Bitcoin buying by corporate treasuries outpacing that of ETFs. And it's, of course, evidence of the regulatory relief that the crypto industry is enjoying under President Trump with his executive order earlier this year to create a Bitcoin reserve.
Boom, Bitcoin reserve. Let's pull up the Bitcoin chart on a daily chart here. This is Bitcoin to US dollar on stock charts, 5 July. And we're sitting here at $108,164 right here. The 5 exponential moving average, which is the trigger with the money flow, is 108,106. So price is just a little below it right now. Price is just a little below it right now. So with the money flow, we're looking at 6 different indicators. We're looking at indicators, some oscillators. We're looking at price, and we're looking at support and resistance to try to determine, is Bitcoin, is it in a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3? If it's in a stage 1 or stage 3, which are, they're the same, the yin and the yang, high tide, low tide, love and hate. It's the opposite. A stage 3 is a stage 1. They can each turn into each other. You know, so right now, this is where we're at. Let me try to blow this up a little bit. 108,000 right here. Price is right there at that 5 exponential moving average. We need to break through this. What do we got? 110, 111. I think it went as high as almost 112 before we can say we're breaking out of this trading range, because I've drew the trading range. So right here, my friends, yes, the moving average is crossed, but they did here too. They did here too. You know, they did here too. They did here too. And so we're going to put this trading range starting right here. That's the anchor point that basically now we can only see this after the fact. We can't see it in real time. We don't know that's the bottom when it happens. We know it after the market establishes some sort of structure. And structure is it puts in pivot points, what we would call anchor points, highs and lows, and it builds out market structure. These stages, these legs, some people call them ABC moves. So there's an anchor, 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 and this is a current, this is a run. But this run is taking place inside of this larger trading range where it stopped here, stopped here, stopped here the other day, and that's where we're at now. Very easily could pull back down into what? Right over here, and then go back up. And now been what? Following the exact same pattern that it's been on for the last 2 months. So I find that interesting. I think we're still caught in this trading range. I do think I'm bullish. I do think we break through and we move higher. I've bought futures contracts on Bitcoin They're for the end of July. And I think overall, we are trading above the 200-day moving average. We're trading above the 20-day moving average. We're trading above the 10, and we're right at the 5. So price is right there. It hasn't given up. It hasn't lost anything. It hasn't given up any ground. It's just kind of, we're starting to flounder. Well, that's the very definition of a stage 3, is this process that we're seeing here. You know, this process right here of as price builds out this stage. You know, and we can draw it again. Remember, support and resistance, if you get, I think it's chapter 4 inside of the money flow. Hey, if you guys would click that QR code, make sure you get signed up with the Peters report and stay in tune with this, man. Because you guys know what I'm trying to do out here, man. I'm trying to stay one step ahead of the market. I'm trying to stay one step ahead of Bitcoin here. So this is our MFG Bitcoin trade report, where we try to stay one step ahead of Bitcoin. And then we have our second income stream letter, and we have the standard, our flagship, the Peters report letter, where we do a weekly swing trade. So we're tracking almost 200 different stocks and commodities every day, same ones, looking for entries, looking for exits, looking for places to take profits and roll them forward inside of our buy and hold portfolios, our swing trading portfolios, our second income stream portfolios. We run 6 different strategies. You may or may not do them all. That's why we broke it up into different, so that you're not having to pay for things you don't use, if that makes sense. TSI is running high. We got a little conflict with the MACD coming down, and we're still there. You know, so I think we're doing okay on this, to be honest.
You know, basically telling the market Bitcoin is here to stay. Many, no doubt, saw the green light to try to pursue the MicroStrategy playbook of becoming a Bitcoin holding company to reap similar benefits. With the uncertainty we've had in the market this year, this trend is not a total surprise. And
anybody could do that, by the way, become a Bitcoin holding company. I got that idea from Warren Buffett, and he was an insurance holding company. I did it with rental properties.
Institutional buyers seeking exposure to Bitcoin through ETFs, that's a different game from public companies trying to accumulate in order to increase shareholder value. So these corporate purchases aren't driven by the macro trend or by sentiment. Is this a lasting trend, Kelly? Probably not, based on the conversations I'm having. It's a unique moment in time where we're seeing the beginning of a whole category of companies. I just spoke with Cosmo Jang from Pantera this morning. He said they're leaning into it heavily, but like a lot of early stage companies, most won't succeed or survive, although there should be a handful with staying power. And to your question, Kelly, about what it will do to crypto prices, I think it'll actually be really interesting to see if instead of that altcoin rally you get after the Bitcoin rally, you see a lot of investors kind of turn their attention to these companies instead.
Did you pick up on any traditional companies putting Bitcoin on the balance? I mean, there's always been rumors like, is Microsoft going to do it, or some of these other ones? Or are these mostly crypto players, people in the space already?
I think it's mostly the latter. Looking at this moment, this opportunity to take advantage of the public markets to be able to do something like this, because it just doesn't work without the public market.
Interesting. Tanea, appreciate it. Tanea McKeel, you can read more of her piece on CNBC.com.
All right, so while she was finishing out here, I just drew the circle over the 14-period RSI, and I marked it here at the top of the trading range we're in. Notice the TSI is still kind of moving up. We're starting to get just a slightest bit of curl there. The MACD histogram is still on the bullish side, but it is sloping down. And the money flow indicator is right there. So take this down, man. Let me real quick. Let's check on the 30-minute chart. This is where I usually, I don't want to get into a whole bunch of time continuity here, but this is where we're trading on this 30-minute chart. And what we're looking for, just like we had over here, the anchor point, state, there you go, boom, there's the breakout, and then you had the leg run up. So we've had the stage 4 decline, and now this is what we're doing. So if I was very tightly swing trading, I'm looking to get in, like I would have liked to have got in around 108,000 and be looking to sell around that 109, 100 range. So that's a 1,000-point move. And then the same selling up there. It looks like we're getting about 1,000-point runs between these boxes, these zones here, the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, those zones that we're getting about $1,000 on Bitcoin. So you got to find a way to leverage it. One way is to trade in the futures market on Coinbase. That's probably the best way. Unless you have a lot of money, then you could just trade Bitcoin itself. But that's the leverage way to trade it right now. Man, I hope that helps. And let me know if you have any questions. God bless.